There's a reason that Christmas feels different, even for people who aren't religious, and even for those who feel exhausted or disillusioned with the world. Something shifts during this time of year that goes beyond tradition, nostalgia, or social expectation. What changes is frequency, specifically emotional frequency. And when millions of people simultaneously move into higher emotional states, the collective field of the planet becomes measurably healthier, calmer, and more coherent. Throughout most of the year, the dominant emotional frequencies in society are stress, fear, urgency, competition, and distraction. These emotions are dense and incoherent, pulling human awareness downward into survival mode. But during the Christmas season, there's a predictable and widespread shift. Gratitude increases, generosity becomes normal, forgiveness resurfaces. People soften emotionally, even if only briefly. These emotional states, gratitude, compassion, kindness, hope, are not just feelings. They are higher-order frequencies that bring the nervous system into balance and the heart into coherence. When large numbers of people enter these emotional states at the same time, something important happens. Individual coherence scales into collective coherence. The emotional noise of fear and aggression quiets, and the planetary field stabilizes. This is why people report feeling calmer, more reflective, more connected, and more emotionally open during this season. The environment itself feels different because, energetically speaking, it is. In higher density models of consciousness, often referred to as fifth density, the defining qualities are unity, compassion, non-judgment, and cooperation. There is less fixation on identity and conflict, and more alignment with harmony and shared well-being. During Christmas, humanity temporarily expresses many of these same qualities. Acts of kindness become instinctive. Strangers help one another. Old grievances are paused or forgiven. Even grief softens into remembrance rather than despair. This is not coincidence. It is resonance. Emotional frequency directly influences the body as well. Elevated emotional states improve immune response, regulate the nervous system, and support healing processes. This is why people often feel physically better during periods of emotional warmth and connection. When the collective field becomes emotionally coherent, it creates conditions that are naturally healing, not just psychologically, but biologically and energetically. In simple terms, the environment becomes more supportive of life. This also explains why Christmas is often described as a time of miracles. When fear recedes and coherence increases, probability itself becomes more flexible. Outcomes that feel blocked or impossible during high-stress states suddenly feel reachable. Solutions appear. Reconciliations happen. Insight emerges. From an energetic perspective, this is what happens when consciousness lifts out of dense emotional states and into a more ordered, higher frequency band. Importantly, this shift does not require belief, doctrine, or ritual. It happens because emotional frequency is universal. A kind heart, a grateful moment, a sincere act of generosity all broadcast the same signal, regardless of one's belief system. When millions of these signals overlap, the result is a collective state that closely resembles higher density consciousness, not permanently, but long enough to remind humanity what alignment feels like. So, Christmas, then, is not powerful because of what we celebrate. It's actually powerful because of how we feel together. It really demonstrates that humanity is capable of sustaining a healthier collective frequency, one that supports healing, connection, and expanded awareness. The question it quietly asks is not whether this state is real, but why we allow it to fade once the season ends. If a few weeks of elevated emotion can shift the planetary field this noticeably, then the path to a higher density world is not mysterious or unreachable. It begins with frequency, and Christmas proves that, at least for a moment, humanity already knows how to rise. There's something important to acknowledge here, especially for those who may be spending this season alone, or for whom the holidays carry more reflection than celebration. You do not need noise, gatherings, or perfect circumstances to be part of this shift. Frequency is not created by crowds, it is created by awareness. Simply noticing the emotional tone of this season, the subtle softening, the moments of generosity or quiet peace, connects you to the collective field that is forming right now. When you notice it, you begin to feel it. When you feel it, you begin to align with it. This is how higher perception develops, not through force but through presence. Awareness itself is participation. Even in solitude, even in silence, you're not separate from the collective frequency. You're within it, contributing to it and supported by it. For those sharing the season with others, the invitation is the same. Slow down enough to recognize what is happening beneath the surface. Feel the emotional coherence when fear loosens its grip, when kindness replaces tension, when people open their hearts without needing permission. These moments are not accidental, they are signals, showing you what a higher, healthier collective state feels like. Christmas becomes more than a tradition, it becomes a living example of alignment. A reminder that higher states of consciousness are not distant or abstract. They are already accessible, already familiar, and already moving through us when we allow ourselves to notice. If this message resonated with you, consider sharing it, not to convince anyone, but to help amplify awareness. Frequency spreads through attention. The more people who notice it, the stronger it becomes. Sharing is simply one way of participating in the collective rise. I want to leave you with this affirmation. Feel free to write it down and use it often. I am aware of the frequency around me. I notice coherence, kindness, and calm. By noticing, I align. By aligning, I contribute. Merry Christmas. Enjoy this one-time moment.